Gonna do, come on, I'm highly favored, don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating, it's for the taking, no hesitation, don't try my patience, I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left, on a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes, hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide, I can never switch, not a day in my life, long as my dogs stay by my side, yeah we gon' ride till we die.
Welcome in everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, to no one's surprise, Coach, it is a snowy afternoon in upstate New York as you get a peek at New Era Field in Orchard Park. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with the New York Jets. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Though certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. On play action, they'll throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
They'll run with Irvin. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on third down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Diggs with a good footwork.
Boom!
Still fighting through tackles. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
This is the third-round pick out of FAU, Devin Singletary. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Back to throw. Open man is Kroon, the tight end. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That one good for 24 yards.
61, match box, light.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And his throw here's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Timmy Jernigan with a sack.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And did he have enough? He did. He kept it online and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The offensive starters now for the Jets.
As we talk more and more about this league becoming a passing league, how about tight end Chris Herndon, the second-year pro out of the University of Miami, had a big rookie season, averaged nearly 13 yards per catch.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Trent Murphy racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Here's Darnold. That is caught. It's Perriman. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Darnold from the gun. He's going to sling this deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. Big yardage that time for the Jets. And even 40 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc up.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Trent Murphy, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Back to throw, Darnold. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 24 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Another shot from the 9 on second and goal. Darnold now to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Now Darnold on third and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. 22 yards there, a first down.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why he ended up having to go one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
From the 21, it's second and 10.
Game situation. Let's go. Watch it. Ready?
The second down carry for Irvin. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Single slot.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Well, the other day they told us when we've got third and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
13 games going on here in this final Sunday of 2019, the final Sunday of the regular season. 3 more games still to come following us. Raiders, Broncos, Cards, Rams, and Niners, Seahawks. And then we'll know the 12 teams who will continue on into the playoffs starting next Saturday here on EA Sports. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off.
Now Carson fumbles the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. The Bills on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. But the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Quinnen Williams in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And New York set to take the field. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ed Oliver in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Andy Lee now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's fielded at the 34. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And now he'll tuck it and run. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Darnold into a double team, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
On 2nd down now. It's Carson. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. That's complete to Meredith. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They're going to look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. 2nd and 4. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. He's at the 50, the 40, the 20, 10, 5. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 and a Jet touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 20. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick-6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They run the counter. Carson, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy. All these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet 1st down.
56.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown.
Good job.
A 24-yard touchdown. And the Jets will extend their lead. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the 1st half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Come on, set. 90 wolf. Ready? Slay.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. They run again with Carson. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line.
Well, it's tough time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They'll look to throw here. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
This is taken at about the 14. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And now out come the Jets. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it's knocked away and incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Darnold now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. The shotgun snap for Darnold. He's going to fire one. It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 44 yards. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
3 bucks.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. A first down throw, Darnold. That's going to be caught by Crowder. It's a Jets touchdown. Jamison Crowder, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. And able to find John Brown. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw here. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. That one was intended for John Brown, but it's going to be 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
I can't believe they even let you play.
2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll drop to throw. Open man is Kroom, the tight end. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down.
he wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
They run for it with Carson. Shifts by him, and inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They'll set up a throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Jason Kroom, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills cut into that lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
The tackle made by Levi Wallace. Again they run, again it's Irvin. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
That is caught. It's Perriman. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Jamison Crowder with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would.
And the ball is knocked out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. On first down, Irvin. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Right back to Irvin. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, this defense has been smothering all game long. Why not give them 2 more points here in the closing minutes?
Well, they've certainly earned it. They've gotten the better of this offensive line for 4 quarters, and this sack here will just be a little icing on the cake.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
Here goes, son. 50. We ain't giving up nothing today. He's cracked.
Here's Irvin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Now a pass taken in by the tight end Herndon. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. And Darnold, he lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Instead of running, Darnold's going to throw this thing. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Micah Hyde able to get a hand in and knock that one away.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
Back to throw, Darnold. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And here we go on 4th. Darnold looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Darnold on first down. A screen to Bell. And some room to roam now. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for the Jets, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, this loss will mean they finish the season right at 500 at 8-8. But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.